Welcome to LAURELDSMITHOF of Chicago, Illinois, nonprofit home video and artworks creations. In this particular video, we will be looking at Mars, 41.2 degrees north stone face of Cydonia, as it is connected to the Dome of the Rock, early 1930s entrance gate building structures, where we see a 000111075 face of an elongated hidden African ancient days of the first atom being generated from the Dome of the Rock building structures. When we look at the African continent from space, we see the facial features of the stone face on Mars appearing on the African continent. So this means that the original creators of the Book of Genesis 2:7, normal hidden human race, is connected to the fourth planet and the 5-point star. Martian Pentagon trajectory to across the black outer regions of space towards the bar-shaped Earth geometry, where we see the Afghanistan war, the modern war in Afghanistan, where the Greek devil of Revelation 9:11, called the angel of the bottomless pit, that controls the entire military force of NATO and the United Nations, that is now in Afghanistan and Syria and Jerusalem, shooting at the biblical will within the world like UFOs. That's where we see its connection to the Dome of the Rock and theology and the UFO landing in the Old Testament upon Mount Sinai. The brown-skinned alien 18 in Afghanistan has been filmed up close, so I'm putting that image on the video. This is where we see the biological guardian cherubs in the biblical will within the world like UFOs in the skies over Jerusalem being taken fire by the United Nations and NATO. Now, when we look at the UFOs in the skies right now, in this very moment, in the skies over Syria and Jerusalem and Afghanistan, it has the Dome of the Rock outer wall, stone rectangular window frames, geometric 5-point star UFOs, and pyramid-shaped UFOs. Now, the pyramid-shaped UFOs, it belongs to the lion sphinx of ancient Giza and Gaza, the Ethiopian couching lion sphinx of ancient Judaism. The 5-point star UFOs belong to the original 3 fingers and 1 thumb brown-skinned extraterrestrial type of normal hidden human race on Mars. Okay, you see the 5-point star UFO in the skies over Afghanistan, taken fire by NATO and the United Nations Marine units. We also see the cube. So we see 3 geometric structures within the Dome of the Rock outer wall stone rectangular window frame. The first level flanking the door. Okay, so the octagonal wall of the Dome of the Rock that has the golden dome, it has 8 walls and only 4 doors. The first door is flanked by a stone rectangular window frame, and it has 2 X's within the rectangular window frame. So there's 2 stone X's carved out of the stone wall. Okay, 1 at the top of the rectangular window frame and 1 at the bottom. Once you draw the line from the rectangular, from the stone X's to the other stone X, the left and right lines and the horizontal lines and the east and west lines, you'll see the resulting image is 3 Giza pyramids and an inverted pyramid-shaped UFO interlocking with a cube. So this explains the geographic purpose of the Isaiah 1919 Giza pyramid to the modern pyramid-shaped UFOs. Now, the cube connects to Comet AJACENT. It's a black orbiting cube-based structure in New Jerusalem around our sun, the size of the moon. And this is where the National Space Administration, SOHO satellite imagery, filmed a black orbiting cube-based structure in New Jerusalem around our sun. So when we reconnect the dome of the rock outer wall stone rectangular window frames, 1, 2, 3 group in pyramid squares flanking a central Ethiopian cross. Now this is the second level on the wall above the door. Okay, so the second level of the dome of the rock octagonal building structure, outer wall area, where we see the stone rectangular window frames surrounding the entire surface of the dome of the rock, and each stone rectangular window frame has 1, 2, 3 group in the pyramid squares flanking a central Ethiopian cross, which points all of the normal hidden humans that was created in Genesis 2:7 to a modern cross-shaped building structure located in Ethiopia, or Lalibela. Now, the reason why we see the cross-shaped building structures within the dome of the rock outer wall stone rectangular window frame being flanked by 1, 2, 3 group in the pyramid squares is because it's pointing all of the normal hidden humans to the cross-shaped building structure base, which is the globe Earth stele pyramid Mercator projection. So this incorporates the Babylonian stele pyramids, the South American stele pyramids. Okay, and where both stele pyramid civilizations of Ham, we find elongated hidden skulls around the bases of these pyramids in archaeological sites, the original archaeological sites. These elongated hidden extraterrestrial skulls belong to Genesis 1:26 first elongated hidden African Adamic race, such as portrayed upon the ancient Egyptian temple walls, where we see watermelon-shaped hidden African pharaohs. Now, when we look at the base of the cross-shaped building structure in modern Lalibela, it was carved out of solid bedrock. The area that was left formed a square. And when you jump down in that square and look up, you're looking up from it's so deep, that square area in which the cross-shaped building structure was carved out of in modern Lalibela in Ethiopia. Well, once you look up from the bottom of that square up to the top, you're looking up from the book of Revelation 21:18, returning cubic dimensions of New Jerusalem. So what's at the base of the cubic dimensions of New Jerusalem is the cross-shaped building structure in modern Lalibela. And at the base, rising up from the cubic dimensions of New Jerusalem, we see the globe Earth stele pyramid Mercator projection, which looks like 5 blocks stacked on top of one another, that they form a step that you walk upon on the left side, and 5 blocks stacked on top of one another, that they form a step that you walk upon on the right side. So this is why we see the Ethiopian cross within the dome of the rock outer wall stone rectangular window frames being flanked by 1, 2, 3 group in the pyramid squares. Because when we talk about the first origins of humanity, we go back to Babylon and Iraq, which is located in modern Iraq. So the book of Psalms 105th chapter 23rd verse speaks of the 12 sons of Jacob leaving the modern Iraqi land surface area as they entered into ancient Egypt and started the stele pyramids of Saqqara, in which they preserved in the first room in the pyramid of Khufu on the back wall of the Queen's Chamber, where we see 5 blocks stacked on top of one another on the left and right side, carved out of the wall, the stone wall. So this is why when we highlight the globe Earth stele pyramid Mercator projections of the book of Psalms 105th chapter and 23rd verse, 12 sons of Jacob that entered into ancient Egypt and started the stele pyramid of Saqqara. I highlighted the book of Genesis 49 chapter and 8 verse, 4th son of Jacob, who's now cast down in front of the Isaiah 19:19 Egyptian pyramids as the biblical North African couching lion sphinx of ancient GIZA, Gaza, Ethiopia, Palestine, and Jerusalem. So when we look at the 4th son of Jacob, globe Earth stele pyramid Mercator projection, we have identified the 1, 2, 3 group in the pyramid squares upon the Isaiah 19:19 Giza pyramid complex, as seen from a helicopter. When you're looking straight down upon the Egyptian pyramids, you see 1, 2, 3 square bases. It's the same 1, 2, 3 group in the pyramid squares, in which appears in the dome of the rock outer wall stone rectangular window frames, flanking a central Ethiopian cross. Where we see the cross-shaped building structure of modern Lalibela, globe Earth stele pyramid Mercator projection at the base of the cross-shaped building structure. Now, 45 feet away from this cross-shaped building structure, we see wall area 8, the wall of the cubic dimensions of New Jerusalem. And on the wall, you can barely make out an elongated hidden African ancient of days 11E face of the first Adam. So, when we superimpose the cross-shaped building structure upon the dome of the rock outer wall stone rectangular window frame images of a central Ethiopian cross, it is then do we see the 45 feet distance away from the cross-shaped base in modern Lalibela, corresponding to the 1, 2, 3 group in pyramid squares within the stone rectangular window frames flanking a central Ethiopian cross. So then we see it tells us geometrically the cross-shaped building structure in Lalibela, wall area 8, 45 feet distance away from the cross-shaped building structure base, which represents a geometric globe Earth stealth pyramid Mercator projection. So it tells us why the globe Earth stealth pyramid Mercator projection was constructed by the normal-headed African endemic race in South America, in Babylon, and in the North Pole Arctic pole regions, and because it represents the creation of the first atom returning to the Earth. Okay, and the second atom. So we have the first atom, which is an elongated headed extraterrestrial type of African ancient days, such as portrayed upon the ancient Egyptian temple walls, where we see elongated headed African pharaohs. And the second atom deals with the normal headed human race. Okay, such as you and me and the rest of the world. We have normal shaped heads. So when we look at the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars, as taken in the original 1976 Viking frame 35A72 satellite images of CYDONIA, we see that when you flip the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars upside down, you see the chin, which is representing the top of the stealth pyramid. Globe Earth Mercator projection of the 12 sons of Jacob that left the Babylonian stealth pyramid civilizations of Ham as they entered into ancient Egypt. Okay, so when you if you was to take your head off your shoulders and place it on the table upside down, that means you're looking at the chin as the top of the triangle or heart-shaped face image that you placed on the table head. And so when you draw a line from the chin, that's the first level of the stealth pyramid. The mouth, draw another line, that's the from the upside down head placed on the table. So the chin is the top of the stealth pyramid, globe Earth Mercator projection of the 12 sons of Jacob, in which they commemorate the 41.2 degrees north stone face on Mars. Now the stone face, well,